Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hit and Hustle from IrishSportsDaily.com. I am your host, Greg Flammang, and with me, as always, is Jamie Uyeyama, Mr. Jamie University. It is Sunday, December 7th, and I got to tell you, man, it's good that I was like not near a computer when this went down. I was actually driving to a soccer game, and man, when I saw Alabama at 9, I'm sure you did too. I knew it was
I
coming.
knew
I'm
it.
sure
I knew it
everyone.
right
I
then and
knew
now.
sure everyone because it was an unbelievable. It was an unbelievable occurrence thing that happened. It made no sense. Everyone drops. So I knew once it was Alabama at 9, they simply were not going to keep Miami out at that point. It's. I mean, they set it up the way for it to happen this way. And that's exactly what happened. So Notre Dame's out. Notre Dame's out and the season is over. That's part of this is like the shock of it, I think, for everybody is like I woke up today preparing to kind of
Talk about who they play. Yeah.
talk about who they play. Like I was out looking up, like, if they go to Oklahoma, like, what flights can I check? Maybe I'm going to try to go to this game. Notre Dame, if they win, they can play in the Rose Bowl and I'll get to cover a Rose Bowl game. And now the season's over. So that juxtaposition is like shocking to me, and it's hard to process in the moment. So, but we're going to try to do that today. We're going to try to process it, talk about where Notre Dame is, why they made the decision not to play in the bowl game. I think it's justified. I mean, it's one of those things, like, I'm personally bummed. I wanted to cover another Notre Dame game. You know, I wanted to see this team play one more time at least, and they're not. But we're going to process everything. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight. If you like what you hear, hit that like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so whenever it is we are going live. The show, as always, is brought to you by ESQ Clothing, founded by Notre Dame alum Ge Wang. He is Chicago's go-to for the best custom suits and sport coats, shirts and sport coats. It's the season of gifting. ESQ is here to help you get you, your husband, father, son, nephew, and even that unlikable uncle some style for the holidays. Known for their next-level craftsmanship, use the finest fabrics, ESQ has introduced a 100% Pima cotton T-shirt to go along with its award-winning bamboo dress shirt, available for purchase online. They've got showrooms both downtown Chicago and in Winnetka. Book your custom fitting at esqclothing.com and step into confidence with Chicago's finest. Mention ISD at your appointment or use the code ISD at checkout and receive 10% off your entire purchase. My main takeaway from this, Jamie, is the Miami aspect doesn't bother me as much. They won the head-to-head. And if Notre Dame was in this position, I would want Notre Dame to get that. First of all, I don't know that they would. And that's part of why that bothers me too. I don't know that Notre Dame would get this benefit if the situation was reversed. And in fact, they haven't in the past, which is a reason why I don't think they would.
They didn't, yeah.
But if I'm being honest with myself, it's not the Miami part of this. There is no justification to keep Alabama in the playoff ahead of Notre Dame at this point.
Yeah.
They opened the season with a 14-point loss. Is Florida State 4-8?
5-7.
5-7. They opened the season with a 14-point loss to a 5-7 team. They ended the season with a 20-point loss in a non-competitive game against Georgia. And when I say non-competitive, they were awful. Okay. That is just a true fact.
By the way, one win for Florida State against East Texas A&M. So,
yeah. 4-7 against FBS teams. They have by far the worst losses of anyone in contention for the playoffs. By far, Notre Dame has combined 2 losses by 4 points. That's the part of this that doesn't make sense. I think, we were talking before the show. I think that Hunter Yurachek was at best misleading and at worst outright lying throughout the process. You can't.
He was terrible throughout. Yes.
You can't say Notre Dame and Alabama are neck and neck, and then Alabama goes and loses by 21 points, and then Alabama stays there, and Notre Dame drops out. That cannot be. It doesn't make sense. It's nonsensical. And so I think that's kind of what leads to where we are now. I think Notre Dame feels lied to. I think that they feel like they were misled. I think that they feel like that the committee was acting in bad faith when it came to them. They reached 9. They were never out until today. The teams above them and below them both lost. And Notre Dame went from 9 to 11 with all that occurring. And the only thing that happened was their resume was enhanced by the fact that
Boise State winning
won the Mountain West. It's not like it's a huge data point, but they certainly didn't get worse.
No,
it's a nonsensical decision. And I think that's kind of where we ended up where Notre Dame is kind of. That's how that's my takeaway from it. Your thoughts, Jamie?
Well, I mean, I think it was so disingenuous, the whole thing. And that's the thing, right? It's like, I think if they had put they spent the whole, literally like 5 weeks saying that, well, that's one data point for the thing with Miami. So you're like, okay, like that's one data point. And they just kept saying Notre Dame is better, which they are by all the metrics.
Yeah. And this is something that everyone kind of understands.
Yes. They also just, if you were just like eye test, looking at them, watching them, looking at how Miami is at the end of games trying to throw touchdowns in the last minute while Notre Dame is playing backups and playing freshmen and getting their 4 game guys in. It's like, there is no equation where it's the same for those teams. So, okay, that's fine. But I agree too. Like, you can look at it and say like the head to head, okay, fine. But when you said it didn't matter the whole time, and then you do flip it, like that is saying it's disingenuous is being kind. Lying is basically they lied about it.
It's deceptive as well.
It's deceptive, totally deceptive.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing to know, like, guess what? You're stuck behind Miami and you're never going to bump up. Miami has to lose. Then you know what's at stake. The kids know, the coaches know, everybody knows. You're rooting for Miami to lose to Pitt here.
And honestly, they also should have said Alabama's place is set at 9.
Just say it.
They should have said Alabama's place is set at 9. Going into it.
Yes. Because what else needed to happen for them to do it? Like, the weekend couldn't have gone better from a Notre Dame perspective of like, this is exactly what you need. Like, I saw, like, our friend John Bryce, he talked about it after last week when obviously they moved Alabama down, or they moved Alabama up for no reason, for no logical reason, which everybody knew.
I mean, Jamie, they praised them for winning by 7 against a 5-6 team.
They praised them for giving up a 17-point lead. Like, it was one of those. So it was so stupid. It made no sense. And what they did to, so basically, like, and I mean, I'll say this, and all credit to JB too, because he's always been like, Greg Sankey is a snake in there. The SEC is always doing it. Like, he was very much in that. The refs were in on it on the Texas A&M game and all that, right? But he said what they need to happen is they need 2 blowouts. They need Texas Tech to blow them out, and they need Georgia to blow out Alabama. And that's what happened. It is exactly what happened. And every single case, it like, you can point to all these different cases too, where if you lose a conference championship game, you can stay in, but you drop. And everyone else, not just this year, but in every year,
Jamie,
everyone else drops.
Jamie.
Yeah.
Is Ohio State ranked 1 today?
No, they're not. They're not.
Interesting.
Is BYU
is BYU still ranked 11th, Jamie?
Like, there is no explanation for And apparently Hunter Yurachek is scheduled to go on with the Golics tomorrow. I mean, they're not exactly known, like, all respect to Mike and Mike Jr. They're not exactly known as like super hard hitting, like they're going to give hard interviews, but they got to ask them these hard questions.
Yeah,
they do, because there is, and no answer he could give is good enough to explain why BYU dropped and Alabama didn't drop. And then other than to say they just like, and even to say, well, hey, go back and watch the first game of the season. It was in friggin' August. It was in August. It is not the same teams anymore.
Yeah.
It just, I totally get too, if that happened later in the year and all this kind of stuff too, of why that would be even more of a thing. But you just can't say it's the same team that it was. Yeah. Like,
and you can't say Alabama is the same team either.
Alabama's got worse.
They haven't scored 30 points a game. They haven't scored 30 points in a game in their last 5 games against FBS opponents. 30, not one time.
And the fact of the matter is too that Oklahoma should have never been gifted that spot up above Notre Dame in the first place either. Yeah. Or they should have dropped while they were like barely winning the last few weeks. I don't care that those teams are ranked. Those teams aren't good. Missouri is not good. There's no one that could say that. Do you think, like, and I really don't like the whole like Bud Elliott, like, well, whatever, we got to do what Vegas says, whatever, because I think that's trash for the most part. But they power rank them for a reason, and they have these things because they want to win money.
Yeah.
So they're not going to make someone a favorite against somebody who's not, if they think they're going to lose money on it, because everyone would bet that side. Like that's how it works. And basically Notre Dame would be favored over everyone except for Ohio State. That's what I heard yesterday. And even if you want to put Indiana, so okay, they're not favored over Indiana. Okay. So they're third. It would totally be one thing to be like and I get it from the beginning of the season to way before the season. We had always talked about, well, they got to win one of these 2 games. It's a must. They need to beat Miami or Texas A&M. One. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Just one. If they do that, then they win the rest of the way, they're in. And then they didn't. And I thought, wow, it's like, I don't even know how they're going to get out of this. And they really did the only thing they could do to get out of it
was to whip everybody.
Kicking the crap out of everybody. Yeah. And that's what they did. And I know too, because I've seen a lot of people say like, well, they should join a conference. If they were in a conference there, it'd be in.
No.
Not unless they were in the SEC.
Yeah.
Because that's the only one that obviously matters in terms of what your record is and whatever. Because let's just say they were in the Big Ten this year. And you replace, okay, instead of Stanford, they play Michigan State. And instead of this, it's whatever. And you just throw in the Big Ten teams that are the equivalent of the teams that they played, right, this year. And they happen to have Penn State when Penn State is trash instead of being good. And all that kind of stuff that kind of works out in that way for them. They're not getting in. Like, they wouldn't get in. Like, it's, they didn't do any favors to any of these other Big Ten teams. Like, there's only 3 Big Ten teams in it. Like, there's 5 SEC teams, and out of the first 4 out, 2 of them are SEC teams. And I'm not saying they're not good teams. Like, those teams, I think Vandy and Texas they're good teams. Mm-hmm. Good teams. Oklahoma, good team. Alabama, good team. Notre Dame is in another tier compared to them. it's just what it's what it is. Like, and to treat them that like that, and I understand to a certain point why they were treated that way because of how the start. But the most disingenuous thing that of the whole process was at the beginning of the year, because of how they lost, and everybody knew, so they stayed ranked because they lost, even though they lost the first 2 games.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it was deserving, you know. And then they kept playing better and better, and they kept moving up. But then the same people who were like ranking them there, like, were tearing them down later on. I just don't get. I honestly, I feel so sick for all of the kids on the team. It's just, I can't even imagine showing up to the the Goog today, and then just having their hearts ripped out like that. Because like I said, it's a totally different thing if they would have said, "Hey, you're behind. You're stuck behind there." If they were in the BYU position, if they were there, then it's like, well, you need like 4 things to go right here or whatever. That's a different thing. But to move them down when they literally just didn't do anything to be moved down, and no one did anything to be moved up, because Miami didn't play another game during this time. And what Pete Pavako said too, it's like the whole rankings leading up to it was a total farce. And I guess I kind of always knew that in the back of my head, but now it's just like, I mean, I guess there's whatever. The sickos will still watch the ranking show, but I'm not going to watch a single second of the ranking show. Like, going forward, it was a joke. And I mean, Nick Saban had every reason to be. He's Alabama. Nick Saban is Alabama, and he was like, Notre Dame should be in, and he has been saying that like for weeks and weeks. Notre Dame is like a top 5 team, but it just, I guess you kind of knew that it could happen, but I just really didn't think after how they this weekend. As soon as I saw, like you said, as soon as I saw they kept Alabama at 9, I was like, no, that's it.
Yeah. It's the thing is, it's like, it's transparently, I'm trying to think of a word other than corrupt. Cause I've reserved that for like kind of politics and stuff. It was so mealy mouthed. And just like the way that it happened, like it defies logic and reason. Like when you follow the game, when you follow the sport, and it's just like when you feel gaslit by something, that's the part. Because like when you come out here and tell me like, oh, we were very impressed by Alabama being up by 17 on like against Auburn. It's like, what does that even mean? Like you held the lead at one point and then you lost it. Like, what does that mean? I don't know how to process that. Like, that is not real. Like, that is not a real thing. Like, even Alabama fans would not be like, oh, what a great job coming out and being up 17-0 against Auburn. It's 20-20 in the fourth quarter, and you're going for it. Like, to me, and it's one of those things like, oh, the process, like, don't do weekly rankings. Don't protect teams. Like, don't protect Alabama. Like, they're clearly just protecting them. Like, they were treating them like their little boy, and my little boy is going to get into the tournament no matter what he does. I'm going to rub his little belly, and he's going to get into this tournament. They haven't played well in 6 weeks, Jamie. And like anyone who can like evaluate the sport, there's metrics that show this. Lots of ways for you to realize Alabama's not playing very well right now. They started the season poorly. They had a good middle of the season. And now they're They were terrible. That is awful. No one has looked as bad as them. No one who is in the tournament has looked as bad as them, ironically, with the exception of Miami. So that just is what it is. Like, the two teams that made it in over Notre Dame today have the two worst losses of anyone in the tournament. That's just a fact. And so it is what it is. We got to get some super chats, Jamie, because we've got some good ones. CFB Hurts. Please inform Marcus Freeman that I would like our margins of victory over Arkansas and Miami next year to reach this donation amount. And I have to say, it is a very generous donation amount into the three figures. So thank you, CFB Hurts, for the super chat. And listen,
Arkansas 2028, by the way.
I am on this. I am on this corner. Like, who's the first ACC team Notre Dame plays next year?
Now I gotta go look on FBS schedules.
Whoever it might be, like, there needs to be a message sent. North Carolina.
Unfortunately, Bill, it's you, Bill Belichick.
It's coming, and there it needs to be 70-0, and it needs to be like starters in the entire time, and at the press conference, be prepared to play four quarters. Be prepared to play 4 quarters. That's what it needs to be. We'll get into the bowl aspect in a second. Next super chat comes in from Sean Scott. Would we get the benefit of getting trounced by 21 with -3 rushing? The SEC fix was in last week after a good first half, but the ACC campaign against Notre Dame needs to be punished. That's another thing. The ACC campaign, when Notre Dame is a partner of them, they've made the ACC lots of money over the years. They do have an agreement with them. They're not a full member, but it's less a Miami thing to me than it is an ACC thing, right? And this is why Notre Dame is opting out of the bowl game, in my opinion. Obviously, Notre Dame would never get this kind of benefit. No one would get this kind of benefit, okay? Alabama is their special boys. And the funny thing is that the committee was forced to drop Alabama because they pooped the bed at the end of last year as well. And so they pooped the bed again. They didn't go poo-poo in the potty, Jamie. They went poo-poo outside of the potty. And they had a little accident in their pants again. But this time they decided it's going to be okay for them. And they get to be in the tournament still. They absolutely did. Alabama blew it 2 years in a row. And this time it was forgiven. Do you have any comment on that?
I honestly too. I what the ACC did this whole time too, and then also too their poor excuse of trying to fight for Duke to get into. Like, come on, Duke lost to UConn. Okay, they lost 5 games this year. It would have been honestly, like, as much as like you could say like James Madison shouldn't be in or whatever. ACC change your rules so then you actually have your best team in your conference championship game instead. So then you don't have to not send someone because of that. I think the whole thing with the ACC too, like, I mean, I think there is like a convenience with Notre Dame and the ACC in terms of like, they have all their other Olympic sports with them and all that, and everything's there. All of the thing that is so insane is that the ACC has a thing now because of all they're not making enough money, right? They're not the teams not making enough money.
Yeah.
And your ratings over the next 5 years are added up, and whoever's the highest rated teams, they get the most money. Like, they get a 60% share compared to a 40% share or something like that, right? Like, that's the deal. And these teams want to actually play Notre Dame because it rates higher. So for like Pitt, like, they need Notre Dame because they're not rating otherwise. They're not getting any other. Game day isn't coming to Pitt to watch them play any other team. It's not happening.
Right.
So all of this kind of stuff too is like so ridiculous that they made it this way, and they kind of like turned it into like Notre Dame is this enemy for them, and that they never pointed anything towards Alabama or Oklahoma or BYU or whoever, that it never did anything. I know, like, Brian here says, like, leave the ACC now. I think if it was that easy, they just do it.
Yeah,
they would. I'm sure it's like not as simple as that. I'm sure there's a lot of people who give a lot of money to Notre Dame who are like, get the hell out of the ACC right now,
right,
and do that. And Notre Dame could find other conferences to be in for all these other sports. It would probably be a mismatch though, because you're not going to get like another, power conference where you're going to get into all of these other sports, but maybe you don't need it in those other sports, to be honest. I don't know. I don't really know. Like, if you think about it, all you need is the money you get from these other things. None of those sports are making money. Like, basketball makes a little,
yeah,
but that's it. Like, so I don't know. I think it's something that I'm sure if it's possible, they'll do it, because I don't really see any kind of reason to kind of stick with them unless like they kind of show that they're like a better partner, and that they're going to try to like make amends for this trash that was going on there. Because even though Pete Bavacqua, I think, is like a pretty classy guy, like I have a feeling he's like kind of like the guy who'll go scorched earth. And
well, we know Marcus is that as well.
Yes.
Yeah. I think they need to hold a press conference. I texted you this. Like, they need to hold a press conference and speak clearly about, like, because the committee is like, all the rankings are a farce, and that's fine, right? Like, speak clearly, man. You lied. You lied and were misleading. And that's why Notre Dame's not playing in the bowl. I think they need to speak clearly about that. Another super chat from Mike Hockner. The commission's Arkansas's AD and Notre Dame embarrassed them. They did, 56-13. By far their worst loss of the season. By far. That's just true. Sean Scott says Alabama lost to FSU in week 1. They were watching it's so funny, man. Go watch the Notre Dame Miami game again. Sure, bro. Sure. But our special boy, Alabama, like they're in, right? We can't hurt them. They can't drop. They can't drop. No one can drop except for everybody else who has ever played in a conference championship game and lost. Literally 15 of 16 in the one time. We got a super chat from a Miami fan here. Thank you for the $5. I'm not going to read that. If you're going to troll in the super chats, like there's no, so we have bylaws on this show. There's nothing in the bylaws that says, if you send us a super chat, I have to read your stupid comment. I don't have to do that. So thank you for the $5. I'm not reading your comment.
Thanks for the donation.
Yes. Thanks for the donation. Don't come here and do that. Thank you. What were we going to say, Jamie?
I was going to say that, like, obviously Alabama, I'm sure, like, Alabama fans are happy they're in. I'm sure, right?
For sure.
It's got to be a pretty sad thing for Alabama fans to like know that you're washed. Like, it's over. Like, it's not happening again. Like, I don't. Kalen DeBoer, I think is actually like a pretty good football coach. He's not doing it at Alabama. It's not happening for them.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. Like, they act like this is Nick Saban's Alabama, and if we put him in, then they're gonna make a run. Like, they freaking stink, man. And you know who is like super most excited about this is Indiana.
Yes,
you either
they're gonna kill that 8 or 9 team. They'll kill them.
You either get.
They could have had Notre Dame. Are you like
this this Oklahoma team that can't play offense, or Alabama who can't play offense? Like, good for them, man. Like, honestly, and I'm not saying like.
And Indiana gets Texas Tech. Or Oregon or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But
and
like,
look, I'm not saying
they already beat Oregon. Like,
I'm not saying like Indiana's really good. Indiana, I think, is really good.
They're better than
I'm not saying Notre Dame definitely beats them. I'm not saying Notre Dame. I'm saying if I'm Indiana, I would rather play these teams that are completely like flawed and just like not anywhere near what Notre Dame is, which everyone understands. But we're pretending that our special boy, Alabama, our special Bama, they have to be in the thing. All right, more super chats. From Just One ND Gal 486. Thank you for the super chat. Committee overplayed their hand and they will pay, starting with lost Pop-Tarts Bowl revenue. It's just beginning. Go Irish, beat anti-competitive collusion. Should we talk about the bowl game now? Should we talk about that now? Since
about them turning it down,
yeah, about them turning it down. It's one of those things. Like, I get it from their point of view, from the players and the staff. Like, I get it from their point of view because if first of all that you've been dealing with the ESPN bias, they've been spewing it for weeks now. Okay, from all corners. Okay, and then you get it from the ACC as well. And both of these entities are going to benefit from you getting snubbed. Like, no, thank you. No, thank you. We don't need to do that. So I get it from their point of view. I mean, selfishly, I wish they were playing a game because then I could cover it. But beyond that, like, I get it from where. What were your thoughts on the situation?
Somebody said that we dismissed their thoughts about them opting out of bowl game from before. Maybe we did. I don't know.
I don't mean to dismiss the thoughts. I'm just going to get to it later.
No. I'm just saying that guy said we did. I don't know. He might have mentioned it a couple weeks ago or something. If we did, sorry, but obviously
I don't even remember this conversation coming up. I don't ever remember anyone ever.
Maybe we just briefly, whatever. But to be honest, I didn't foresee this specific situation, which I think like.
Let me ask you this: do you think they would have done this? Here's my thing. They're not opting out because they missed. They're opting out because of the way it was handled for the last month. I think that's what the opt-out is about.
Yes. And also too, it's like one of these things like, okay, like here's a very specific example. You're Billy Schrauth. Billy Schrauth hurt his knee in the USC game. He should have came out of the USC game. He eventually was forced out of the USC game. The guy balled out in that game, was destroying people at the point of attack, played an awesome game, couldn't finish the game though. And he's obviously been out for, 6 weeks or whatever it's been since then. He could have played against Stanford if he knew that was going to be it.
Yeah.
That this might be your last game. 1,000% he would have played in that game.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're basically saying to a guy like him, well, you're not going to get this chance at it. Like, I'm taking away because he's going to the NFL, guys, in case anyone doesn't know. Like, he's going to go. Like, he's going to leave. Maybe this is the kind of thing that changes some minds. I don't know. It might. That kind of thing has happened before where maybe it changes some guys' minds to stay if they don't. But I think it's pretty convinced from everything I heard before the season, everything we heard before the season and throughout the season, Billy Schrauth will not be back next year, even though he could come back. So that guy is just like, it was just taken away from him, this chance. All of that is just like taken away from that guy. But it's also like Jeremiah Love. Hey, because obviously Jeremiah Love would not play in the friggin' Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like, he's not going to play in the Pop-Tarts Bowl. Like, and Jadarian Price probably was not playing the Pop-Tarts Bowl. You know, like, maybe a few other guys too. But even that, it's like Notre Dame's players and Notre Dame period is under no obligation to play in those bowl games. The players didn't sign a contract saying, guess what? You need to play in the Pop-Tarts. The freaking Pop-Tarts. It's like, it's fun to be like, hey, there's the Pop-Tarts Bowl. You know, they're eating a real Pop-Tart. Like, okay, congratulations to Western Michigan or anybody else who wants to play in a random bowl like that. But a team that just had their heart ripped out doesn't have to play in a bowl game like that if they don't want to. Just like I didn't hold it against Kansas State or Iowa State to be like, well, our coach is leaving. No, we don't want to play in a bowl game.
They're not competitors, Jamie. They're weak. If you love the sport, you should play without a coach.
Like, it's just,
you should play without a coach, Jamie. If you love the sport,
play without a coach, do this, like, it's ridiculous, right? And even the amount of money that like the Pop-Tarts Bowl or whoever, you know, runs it or whatever, Kellogg's or whatever, I think Kellogg's, whatever, whoever's in charge of it, like whoever's like the big sponsors, whoever's making the money from it, like, yeah, they're pissed because it's like they're not going to lose. They're going to lose a bunch of money by Notre Dame not coming. I got news for you. Notre Dame fans aren't showing up to the Pop-Tarts Bowl this year. Not like they would in another year. Like, not that even like in the Sun Bowl where you're like, okay, they'll show up to the Sun Bowl. Well, it's like, well, they knew they weren't going to be in that. They didn't have, the fans get their hearts ripped out too. So all those people, it's like, I can tell you one thing they don't want to do right before Christmas is spend a lot of money on a mean nothing game. They don't want to do that. No one wants to do that.
Yeah.
So I don't think first of all, I don't think I'm worrying about these guys and what it would be like for, they got final exams coming up. Like, it's going to be like overwhelming for them, all the stuff that's going on that they're going to have to think about and try to get over and all that too. I don't think it's going to be easy. Like, I don't think anyone who's complaining about it, like, it's always some like, there's always some kind of ulterior motive with it, or they've never actually been in that situation before. So who cares? Like, I mean, maybe, you know what? And I'm sorry too. So I saw like Utah's governor is like, they didn't want the smoke, basically. Like, give me a break.
That's fine too.
It doesn't mean anything for Notre Dame to play BYU. It's just true. Maybe in a different circumstance, if they were in a different circumstance, they ended up losing at the, you know, towards the end of the year, they're 9-3. And then it's like, okay, well, you know what? Guess what? We get to play BYU here. Hey, that's a pretty good opponent. Okay, we can get excited about this. Get excited for next year. Try to pick ourselves up there. No one wants to do that. Like, no one wants to go and play in that situation. And I understand. Like, I love football. I like that there's all these bowl games. It's great because it's just extra stuff on. It's exploiting the kids. It's always been exploitative. The fact that they have 5 million bowl games, they're doing it because they make money. Like, they make money off these games. Just because the kids gets a PlayStation, it's not really that great of experience. Like, it's not that for these guys to go there. So and also too, it's like, hey, come here and then don't go home for Christmas. Go to this stupid bowl game where, hey, if you win, you eat a live Pop-Tart. No, like that. It's so stupid. Brett McMurphy, you classless idiot. Like, what a moron. I mean, I never really had an opinion on him other than I'm like, man, this guy seems like a dick on Twitter. But wow, like when you're like stumping for like the big money bull sponsors, you're officially like capital L loser, just a dork. Get out of here. Like go exploit your kid on Sports Center next time. Oh wait, they laid you off. So why are you even stumping for ESPN? Get out of here, you loser.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Everyone kind of understands what happened in this situation. Yeah. Like everyone kind of gets it. Like Bama not dropping. Everyone always drops. Notre Dame got screwed by the committee. ESPN lobbied against them for 3-4 weeks, right? All their shows. The ACC lobbied against him for all this time, right? And everyone kind of gets that, right? Everyone who's upset now, oh, whoa, like this is not cool. You should play. It's like, wait a second. See, the thing is that everything that happens elicits a reaction. You don't have to like you can't sit there and watch these guys get again screwed and lied to and misled and made to believe they are going to be in the tournament. And then you pull the rug at the last second and it's like, oh, by the way, you're going to play in our bowl game now. Like, how about this? How about I don't have to do that actually? How about I have agency here? You made your decision and now we are making our decision. And like, who cares about the Utah guy, Spencer Cox?
I know, like
he's trying to score political points. Congratulations, man. Like everyone is after their engagement again. Why do Notre Dame's players give a shit about that? Excuse my cursing. But like I knew I was going to curse on this one. I never do. But like why do they care, Jamie? Why is that important? It is not. It is not important. It only matters what happens to them. Again, everyone now is just virtue signaling about this bowl game that individual players opt out of all the time, right? It's an expectation that Jeremiah Love isn't going to play. It's an expectation that Jadarian Price isn't going to play. It's an expectation that Billy Schrouth isn't going to play. These are expectations, right? But then the whole team says, no. Like you said, you all clowned us. You all tried to humiliate us. And now we're going to play in your little exhibition game? After that, like you're going to treat us like this and now we're going to dance for you on your thing? No, we're actually not going to do that. I'm going to go have Christmas with my parents, actually. Everyone talking about, oh, like everyone is so concerned about Notre Dame's bowl practices. Everyone is so they're missing out on 2 weeks of prep, Jamie. Everyone is so concerned about Notre Dame's bowl prep. You give a shit about Notre Dame's bowl prep?
Yeah.
Nobody cares. You're virtue signaling. And that's fine if you want to do that. But why should Notre Dame's players care? They should not. It does not matter.
Well, and if the game actually mattered, you know, like think about last year when just two examples. Jaden Osbury playing with an elbow brace, you know, bigger than his thigh, like it was just a gigantic elbow brace. If that was the case this year, he's not playing in a bowl game. He wouldn't. KVA isn't fighting to get back from a sprained knee where the guy can barely move to try to get back to playing the Pop-Tarts Bowl last year. It's different because the game doesn't mean anything. So it's like, then you're playing a bunch of guys that's not the team. So then if BYU like wins that game or whatever, then they get to say, oh, we beat Notre Dame or whatever. It's like, no, you didn't really, because you beat like the shadow group there. And it's kind of like the same thing of like, hey, you know what? Oregon State, they didn't opt out of that, the Sun Bowl, you know, that game. And I guess credit to them. I bet they wish they did after, because that was like an embarrassing game for them where they just got destroyed by Notre Dame. Where like Notre Dame was playing with 2 backup tackles and a backup quarterback and a whole bunch of backups all over the place. And just like killed them because their coach left and they had guys go to the portal and whatever. And then what was the point of that for those guys? Did they get really anything out of it? I don't think so. So it's one of these things. It's like, I don't know. I'm was totally fine with it. I think if they would have played too, and I bet a bunch of if they played with a bunch of backups, they'd still be competitive and probably win the game. But I totally understand them not playing the game, and I get it. And while we're here too, because it's not like we're going to bring it up any other time in the offseason, the Big 12 is a joke. Did anybody watch the Big 12 championship game? And just compare it to any game. Like, watch them and watch Notre Dame's team. And I know people are, oh man, Texas Tech, you've been playing against kids, like little kids the whole season. It's a different jump. The league's not the same. The talent isn't the same in the league. Yeah. That's why they could just spend a bunch of money and then all of a sudden be like a juggernaut. They were 129th in DF Plus last year, and now they're like top whatever because they've dominated so much. It's because they could just upgrade just by getting these guys, and then they just have to buy a D line. They don't have, like, BYU is supposed to be the second best team there. They had to run like screen game the whole time. They couldn't even block them at all. They couldn't do anything against them. And just the speed, size, all of it. They don't have NFL athletes in the Big 12. They don't. It's a handful of teams. Like I said on Twitter, it's an AAC plus. It's not a real Power 4 league, which is also too why it's like they get credit for, like, someone gets credit for beating Arizona. Arizona is like, I guess their record is good enough for them to be ranked. If Arizona had to play in another conference, they're not going to be ranked. It's just the way it is.
Yeah. Another super chat from a stubborn Mick. What are we doing? The AD of a school that had to fire their football coach 3 games into the season shouldn't be running the college football committee. This is tomfoolery. Get rid of the ministry of fallacy and get the algorithm going. Yeah, I mean, this is how it's always been. The man embarrassed himself, but he got paid a lot of money to do that. So it is what it is. Another super chat from We the People 1489. All conference championship teams that lost yesterday dropped, all but Bama. It's like we are their loss. They lose and we dropped.
Yeah.
The only idle team in college football to drop this week, by the way. Look, that is just Bama's loss was Notre Dame's loss. Notre Dame paid for Bama. Bama lost, so Notre Dame dropped. It's as stupid as it sounds. In fact, there's no other word to use. It's stupid. It's a dumb thing, Jamie. It's stinky smelly. It's a stinky smelly way they went about this. Nate Paris, another super chat. Thank you guys for all your great coverage and insights this year. Such a disappointing way for the year to end. I can't get over it, man. It went from like, again, the juxtaposition of this team is that, like, they'll probably go into Oklahoma thinking about that matchup and the season's over. It's stunning. It's a stunning thing. Robert Halicki, thank you. This is a very generous super chat. Thank you very much, Robert. You've been a longtime friend of the program. I'm bummed out how I felt this morning, how I feel now, living in 2 different dimensions. I agree with the decision not to play for a Power 5, PS5, or a Pop-Tart. I'm grateful for you guys and the coverage. It means more than you know. Happy holidays, and as always, go Irish. Thank you for that, Robert. That's very generous. Happy holidays to you as well. I want to get to this comment from 3 Dunn. Notre Dame needs to embrace being the most hated team. If Notre Dame takes anything away from this, Jamie, is like, I completely agree with this.
Yes.
I completely agree with this. Like, do whatever you need to do. Like, is right for you guys, like save all of these tweets, save all of these comments, save all of these clicks. Like Marcus Freeman, here's the thing. Marcus Freeman thrives on, you're no one believes in you, you're the underdog, your backs are against the wall. And like it starts today. And this is probably another reason why they're not doing the bowl game, is because this season is over. And the way that this went down, it starts now. The drive for 2026 starts today. And like the bowl game is irrelevant. It's not compatible with that. Like I go in there, I'm running up the score. I'm taking shots at the ACC every chance I get. If you get a chance to play the ACC, you mess them up. Legal. I'm not talking about being dirty. I'm not talking about being dirty. But you mess them up. You go after them. You recruit it as well as you can. Get into the portal now. Like, don't use this time. Get into the portal. Figure out your team. Build your team for next year. And everyone else with your comments, you can F off. It doesn't matter. Like, it's all about Notre Dame. Like, embrace being the villain. And I think that's the way Notre Dame's got to go here. So I
totally agree. Totally agree. I think they should go evil empire, really. Like, they really should. And honestly, like, just take it to him. By the way, I just saw that Pete Bavak was going to be on Dan Patrick tomorrow. So we'll hear from him tomorrow on there.
Okay. All right. Oh, cool. Another super chat from, I need Robert Hallecky. Another super chat from Rajon. Great season again from you two. Thank you.
Thanks, Rajon. You're always here, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Rajon's the guy. Rajon's the man. It's like I was saying, please go on Dan Patrick. I need to hear from Marcus Freeman, honestly. But I'm glad they're going on these shows because you got to have something to talk about on Tuesday. I was telling you, Jamie, like, what are we going to talk about on Tuesday? Like, I don't want to do this over and over again. But I mean, we'll obviously come up with something to talk about. There's always something to talk about.
I also think too, like, not that he is already very much a self-motivated guy, but I also think like Marcus Freeman is going to turn this downtime into, like, in case anyone didn't already know, like, the 2027 class is going to be like in the same tier as the 2026.
Honestly,
it even better.
It could be better. Yeah,
it could be better. And so, I mean, I think he's just going to go, like, Notre Dame is going to be full force.
Yeah.
With this stuff. Cause it's like one of these things where in the way that this happened too, is it's a lot different when you like miss out on the playoff and, they didn't make it. They weren't good enough and then whatever. And it's another thing when you get screwed like this. Like, it's funny because I saw like Bruce Feldman even wrote, yeah, they got screwed. I'm like, oh my God.
Dude, these guys, like, honestly, like,
it is
like, seriously, get out of here. Like, please leave. Never
leave forever.
Never speak on Notre Dame again, ever. Like, seriously, you got screwed, dude. F off forever. Seriously.
Yeah.
I'm not even kidding. These guys, man. Oh my God.
Yeah. But one of these things, like, the people who like really are so invested in, like, hey, they're going to give more resources. I mean, I'm not saying they've already fully invested. Like, that was a thing that was happening already, but it's going to be like, hey, what else you need? Because we're sick of this and we're just going to do this. And I do think too, like, as much as like there's going to be, there's always going to be people who say, join a conference, do this, blah, 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 blah. Get rid of this Vincent Bergman guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As much as people are going to say like that kind of thing, like to, try to say like they should do this in response. I do think it just makes Notre Dame to be like, no, it is going to be us against the world. like the you said the quote that was so good from Bavakwa, where he's like, "We kill what we eat." Like, put that on a t-shirt, man.
We eat what we
like,
kill. Yeah.
Or we eat what we kill. We eat what kill. Yeah.
No, like like the on a t-shirt. In all seriousness, like the quote from Remember the Titans, like "Leave no doubt."
Yeah.
Like that is the leave no doubt. Like that is what it needs to be going forward. Eric, thank you for the super chat. Look forward to you guys every week. Thank you. By far my favorite Notre Dame coverage. I appreciate that, Eric. If you enjoy this, if you haven't done so before, hit that like, hit subscribe, hit the notification bell. We appreciate everyone being in the show. I think this is Chief Brody, a date which will live in infamy again, December 7th. Yes. Little different kind of way, but true. Jason Warnock, thank you for the super chat. Do you think Pete Bavakwa will go to Coach Marcus Freeman and hand him a blank check for NIL? I don't think he needs to, because Notre Dame's NIL operation is already like as good as anybody else's. But to Jamie's point, like people are going to call and be like, okay, like what else do you need? What else do you want? What else are we lacking? Right? Because
what else can we do to screw the ACC?
Yes.
And what we get, what else do you need to make sure that when the SEC does it, like that is going to happen? Though there's going to be they'll have meetings talking about this stuff. Like, yeah.
I mean, it's like every time you speak, I just go to the chat and I ban all the trolls in here. It's a very fun time. It's a very fun way to spend this time. It's a very fun time to spend doing fun activities that aren't complaining about this. Maybe you could do so in pickleball. Find a fun time to, play some pickleball and have some fun doing that. Of course, you could go to H2 Pickleball, founded by Notre Dame alum Todd Hill. He's teaming with fellow alums Jack Gibbs and Will Howells, who's a top 10 pickleball pro, to bring Notre Dame fans to Notre Dame Pickleball Crew League. Besides football, what better way to connect and engage Notre Dame fans than through pickleball? Membership is free, and members will have access to special pickleball events and discounts. For information, contact Todd at h2pickleball.com or call him at 574-339-5195 to join the league. Be sure to visit the H2 Pickleball facility in Mishawaka when you are in town. H2 Pickleball is located at 55801 Evergreen Plaza Drive in Mishawaka, Indiana. Really quick, Jamie, you see that Bavakwa is going on, like Dan Patrick. There's going to be, appearances and things of that nature. How do you think they should handle it? I've kind of spoken to it already, but how do you think they should kind of go about this?
I mean, I don't think it should be like a full-on like off-season assault of like them, talking. Like the playoffs going to start without them, and they don't need to be like still talking about it, in a couple weeks when things are going on then. Because it honestly, that part they can talk about it internally. Like they don't need to keep harping on it there. But I do think, yeah, it is a good thing to like. I don't even know actually if it is. It might be better for Pete Bavakwa to just be the only voice for it. So then Marcus doesn't have to go there and actually like call out people and whatever and like do that kind of thing. It can be Bavakwa who does it. And he can kind of take any bullets that are going to come from like maybe doing it. I think that's probably the best way to do it. I don't know, like if like holding a press conference, like what? So Tim Priester can ask a question. That like, come on.
I wouldn't necessarily like have a press conference like for Tim Priester ask a question or whoever to ask a question. It's just more of like I do think there's value in explaining the position of why you're not playing.
Yes. I mean, you know what? Honestly, like it would probably be better for Marcus to go on like the pivot. I know he's already been on the pivot, but you know what I mean? Like something like that where he actually talks about it and gets to really kind of talk about it and really like, gets a chance to like in any kind of those situations, he always knows what to say and put it in, especially when in those like long form kind of things too. So, yeah, I would do that kind of thing. I mean, I don't want to. It's one of the. I understand. It's like one of these things. Like so, like BK used to do the. Okay, well, Pete Thamel's going to come in, and now we're going to talk about getting Michael Floyd and this and that or whatever. Like, I don't want to read a lot of like. I'm sure Pat Forty and Feldman and whoever, these people are going to want to come to Notre Dame in the off season and be like, wow, they're really pissed off and blah blah blah. Like, I don't want to read a lot of that. I'd be like,
for sure.
Yeah, I'd be like, hey, you want to come and check it out? Whatever, fine. But like, we're not gonna be like, we're not doing a big story on that.
Don't do like the USC thing, where like they invited everyone to come, and it's like, oh, they're the they're preparing like they were a playoff team last year. Don't do that. I agree with you. I think that's a good call. Michael Hoffman says Notre Dame and NBC need to make an Irish Bowl, invite BYU, and give ESPN the finger.
No, what's the point of that? To play another team that, I mean, frankly, they're way better than BYU. Like, BYU wasn't deserving to make the playoff. Notre Dame was. So then they play the next team out. Like, it just, there's no point. I get the sentiment, but there's no real point in playing that game.
Hold on one second. Another person can go. We don't normally need like a separate producer on this show. But today you do when you get the trolls in here. There's like I've literally banned like 30 people. Another comment from Fravel Edits. Notre Dame needs to go back to full independence. I feel the most for the guys in the locker room. 0 dark 30 all next season. Beat teams 70-0 in 26. I think what he means by full independence is like get out of the ACC agreement.
Get out of the ACC deal.
It's kind of hard because they just signed a deal with Clemson. So that's tough. Although you could get out of the ACC deal.
You could get, but it's the thing is like, I think Notre Dame would be fine football wise to do it. But the reason why they made the ACC deal is not for football. It is for the other sports. So you have to find homes for all the other sports. And I know like, most of the people in here care about just football mostly, but if you are, soccer and, Notre Dame's got good soccer teams. Like you don't want to like ruin all of a sudden. It's like, well, now that sport doesn't matter at Notre Dame because of it. And so that's the only part that makes it hard, really. Right. Like, I mean, obviously who cares? Like Notre Dame obviously does not care about baseball. Like they do not care enough about it to do it, but they do care about a lot of these other sports. And I mean, if they could find something, great. Do it. Because I mean, you want to see irrelevance. Like, how many people are going to care about a lot of these ACC teams when it's, they'll only care about certain games a year, or if it's a wild Friday night game. Like that's it. If Notre Dame's not involved.
Yeah. I like the idea of just kind of Notre Dame going about their business now. I mean, I think I'd like for Marcus to speak on the reasons why. If he doesn't, he does. It's not a big deal to me. I don't care. Like it's not like it's something I'm burning to hear. Like I don't care about that. I think he could, and I think that would be good. I think Pete Pavacqua can go on and talk about that. As far as everything else, like I don't have like a burning desire to get out of the ACC deal. I just think like you punish them. I mean, they already kind of do, right? Like, it's not like, it's not like Notre Dame's had trouble with the ACC in the past, right? So like just punish them even more. Like to me, that's the whole deal behind it. And I think that should be Notre Dame's mindset. Yeah.
And Outbound here, he said, Clemson out of the ACC in 2030. When that the ACC is
when that happens, you can get out of the deal
when they're
because it's actively bad.
And also, as of right now, Notre Dame would have to pay something to get out of it. Like there is some weird grant of rights where they would have to do that for their other sports too. So, you know, I mean, I'm sure Notre Dame could try to sue them and do whatever. Like, also too, what are they going to do? Like, if Notre Dame tries to sue them, they're just going to be more against Notre Dame. Like, they're already against them. So it's they could do that too, but it's all going to crumble for the ACC soon, and I think everybody kind of knows that. Like, this season probably was like the worst case scenario for any any conference. If you think about like Florida State, like being just a total disaster, and then they're keeping Mike Norvell, and Clemson being like the preseason number one, and then they like are just terrible. And really, like, Miami was the only good team in the conference this year. It's rough, right? Like, so they don't really have anything to hold on to. So, and I mean, I don't know, like, whatever. I'm sure basketball matters somewhat to them, but
yeah,
the money thing is football. It's always what it is.
I think it's, it's funny to me, like some of this, like, like Notre Dame is blowing the goodwill that they built up during the Marcus Freeman. Like, it's like, who cares? Like, who cares what any of you, like, what did that goodwill get them? Nothing. You got them nothing, like it's
somebody said that by not playing the bowl game or what?
Yeah. It's just like, oh, they're, everyone's against them now. It's like, who cares about that? Like,
they just spent the whole year being against Notre Dame. Anyways.
Yeah, like everyone's like Bruce Feldman. Like he went on a huge tantrum, and then it all worked out for him. And now it's like, well, actually, Notre Dame got screwed. It's like, well, go F off, dude. Like you got what you wanted, man. Like, just be quiet, And the funny thing is like Miami's not going to win anything, and Alabama is certainly not going to. I don't know that they're going to beat Oklahoma. Alabama is not playing well. Alabama is not playing well. Just straight up. Like, they're not. And the reason that you lose by 21 is because you're not good. The reason that you only beat Auburn by 7 is that you're not good. The reason that you lost to Oklahoma the first time is because you're not good. Like, they haven't played good. Like, they can't run the ball. They have a clear deficiency, and now their passing game has been figured out. Like, I don't like that. That's why they shouldn't be in the tournament, because they have shown to not be a very good football team. I think they're going to go to Oklahoma and lose. And if Oklahoma goes, then they will lose. I mean, the question to ask Hunter Yurachek tomorrow is like, first question, do you think Notre Dame is better than Alabama is? Do you think Notre Dame is better than Oklahoma? And obviously he's going to filibuster, but like, it's hard with the data and all those other things. I think that it's like, is Miami better than Notre Dame? Like, no one thinks that. Like, even our, even Greg McElroy's like, well, I think if Notre Dame played Miami tomorrow,
they'd beat them.
Like, the Notre Dame would win.
Notre Dame would beat them, yeah.
Like Miami, are they going to go down to Texas A&M and win? I don't know. I kind of doubt it, but
yeah,
because the thing is, Texas A&M has a good offensive line.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have stuff to talk about stuff on Tuesday too. But the last thing I'll just say is that I think the whole point of having a 12-team playoff is to make sure that teams that do have a start like Notre Dame did, but then show that they are one of the best teams, that they get in the tournament and have a chance. I think that is the kind of thing that's what I thought it was about, is that doing that. I mean, I know it was about money and whatever, right? But like, on the field, I thought that was what it's supposed to be about. And I think that obviously the biggest shame is that, like, Notre Dame is good enough to win it all this year. And I mean, whether it was like 2018, 2020, when they had undefeated regular seasons, I mean, those were great seasons. I don't want to take anything away from those teams, but I didn't really believe that Notre Dame was going to win it all. I thought they had a chance to maybe they, some miracle upset or whatever. But this year, they could have won it all. So it's a real shame, and it's a shame for the players, and I just feel sick for them.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. And the reality is SEC wants automatic bids. And I don't know why they need to push for that, because they kind of already have them. They already have them. They were given an automatic bid with this. So, it's just one of those deals. This is the type of, like, the whole point of the 12-team playoff is so that a team like Notre Dame doesn't miss out, and a team like Alabama does. That's the point of it. It's the point of the process. You go to 12 so that a team of Notre Dame's caliber is in, who shows the team, and a team that shows they are clearly not misses. That is the point of the process. And but instead, Alabama was given a special exemption for reasons that are probably obvious to everyone. At this point, I think we would just be talking in circles. So this is a good time to end it. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow. Michael, Power Hour with Mike. He's going to be in rare form tomorrow, boys. So that's something you're going to want to tune into. I'm not sure when that's going to be, because usually it's at 1 Eastern, but that's because of press conferences and things like that. So we'll stay tuned on what time, but there's going to be Power Hour tomorrow, and then we'll be back on Tuesday with Hit and Hustle. So thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Mike will be on tomorrow on Power Hour with Jamie, and we'll continue to process everything that's happened. So have a good rest of your Sunday, everyone. Keep hitting and hustling.